Big Daddy Kane. Let the applause roar. Keep them going. Sway in the morning. Shade 4-5. Long live the Kane. It's a Big Daddy thing. Taste of chocolate. Prince of darkness. Whatever you want to call him. Top MC in hip-hop history. Come on, man. Lyrical supreme. Longevity. Style. Finesse. Flair. MC. Ladies love him. Fellas want to be him. Even with 20/20 vision, you just can't see him. I'm dropping bars at the beat. The one and only legendary, iconic Big Daddy Kane is on the line with us. Brah, brah.
What up, yo?
Kane, what up, baby? How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm great, man. Everything is good. How about yourself?
Come on, Kane.
Doing great.
You know what it is, man. This is one of the good guys right here. You know, I was watching you perform. I think it was at your home early in the quarantine, and you was doing this performance. Yeah, man, and it was, and it was just word of mouth was spreading like Kane is going off right now, and I remember we all turned to it and watched it, and I was so fascinated by how pristine and crisp your voice sounded. How smooth, yeah, man. That Kane, you know what I'm saying, man. Like everybody don't sound the same. Like I remember seeing Tila Rock perform like last year somewhere. Rich, I don't know where we were, and we was like, yo, his voice still sounds like the record, you know. And not everybody preserved themselves. You know, I don't care who you are. If you perform over 2 to 5 years, it's chance you're going to run some damage on your vocal cords. If you're not taking care of your body, you're not going to be able to have the same pizzazz. And Kane, you didn't lose a beat, bro. It's like you got fine like wine, brother. Fine like wine.
Thank you, man. Thank you, my brother. I mean, you know, it's a passion. You know, I still love entertaining, you know, the people that support me and my career. So, you know, I try to give my best, you know, and I enjoy doing it. And for those that did get a chance to view the performance, I hope they, you know, really enjoyed it, because I know everybody, you know, cats can't get out and go see concerts the way they want to and used to. And I, you know, I just hope they had a good time. I know I did. How
did your kids feel about it?
I mean, he joined in on Rap the Kane, I believe. Yeah, on Rap the Kane. He did the Kane. He did that part. He did his little break dance and stuff. So he had a good time.
Hey, did you like my daughter now? She's 21, Kane. She'll be 22 next year. Now I put so much information in her. Now she's starting to spit it back at me, and I forget all the things I told her. Like she remembering everything from meeting Dougie Fresh when she was a kid to everything, and all those things I was implanting on her. Now she like stands up for the culture with a fist pumped in the air. Like, did you do that with your son? Like, hey, this is what your daddy did. This is his first album. This is his second album. These are the people that I thought were dope. Or you just kind of let him be?
A little bit of both. You know, I let him, you know, enjoy what he's into. Like he was crazy about that the Old Town Road song. You know, I let him enjoy what he's into, but at the same time, you know, I let him hear stuff that I grew up to. Like he loves the Overweight Lover from Heavy D. You know, Dougie Fresh, The Show. You know, like, you know, he has an old soul anyway. You know.
He like his pops, man. The Rafter Kane. Now that I got you here, I don't even know if I ever asked you this one, but do you remember writing that song, The Rafter Kane? Where you were when you wrote it? Where were you?
It was, I believe I wrote it in my house. It was like I thought that we was going to roll with Set It Off for the next single. And then I got the word that they decided to go with I'll Take You There. And, you know, I didn't think it was a good choice. I thought that we needed something more street. And I asked to Set It Off at least be the B-side. They told me no. So I just said, you know, to hell with it, and just recorded a new song. I just went in and just did a new song. I just found the song Breakform called Discotheque Soul. And I took it into Marley's and just recorded a brand new song. and we put it on the B-side, I'll Take You There. You know, because really, it was really just something I just did just because I didn't want I'll Take You There to be the single.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so it was like a protest song. yo, hey, when you say they, are we talking about Ty? Like, who made that decision?
No. This was Warner Brothers.
Okay.
Ty actually, I believe, if I'm correct, I believe Ty wanted set it off to be the next single as well. This was a call from Warner Brothers. Benny Medina was in charge at the time.
Benny Medina. So Benny Medina managed J-Lo, managed Jazz, Will Smith. I think Benny Medina is a EP on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, because the show is loosely based on his life.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's the part of the game that people didn't realize how many hands were in the decision-making process, even with somebody like Big Daddy Kane, in terms of the singles you came out with. Were they trying to get you to make songs that were radio-friendly back then?
Later on, they started asking me to do stuff like that, you know. I mean, I never forget Benny Medina invited me to a pool party, and like, you know, what was going on was like so amazing, and I'm like, okay, what's this really about? You know, because I'm looking around like, yeah, this ain't the norm. So what's this really about? And what it was about was like Hammer was hot with Can't Touch This, and Benny basically wanted me to use Rick James, You and I, like to try to, I guess, follow Hammer's success, you know. And, you know, I was like, you know, I probably just chill, man. You know, I'm good.
Hey, Cam, but what was that pool party like though? What it look like? I know we all older now. This is just reminiscent, but what was it like? Full of like what kind of girls did they pack it with? Was it a rainbow coalition?
Two very famous, well-known models.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, yeah. Benny was a bad dude, you know, but I you know, it just had me like, you know, like, all right, this ain't the norm. I've been up here several times and never seen this scenery. What you want? You know?
Man. You laughing, Bizzle?
Yeah, I just think it's funny, but you know what too? I mean, we all obviously salute Kane for just decades and decades of work, but I think a lot of times, and Kane, again, this is just my opinion, you know, I've always been a fan, but I think a lot of times people don't recognize the work you've done outside of your own projects. I don't think we use the term ghostwriter a lot back in the 80s and early. We didn't know what that was, and it was only later on when people started, like, you know, putting two and two together and reading liner notes or doing certain things and having people listen to conversations that we found out that you wrote for other people as well. Like so many other people, like straight up hit records. Were you ever torn between writing for other people, like joints, and then saying, well, damn, I should keep this one for myself? Did you ever give away a record you felt like you should have kept?
Yeah, that actually did happen. But you know, that's one of those like real ghostwriting situations, not the way they loosely use it now. I mean, you know, there's songs like I've written for Biz, I've written for Roxanne, Shantae, and you know, that's stuff that's known and it's on the credits. I mean, you know, there actually was a song that I wrote for myself and wanted to put out, but I was going through so much drama about Pimpin' Ain't Easy and having to apologize publicly and all this here stuff. I just was like, you know what, the hell with it. And someone else actually did the song, you know, but it was something I really wanted to keep, you know. Yeah.
Can you is it a statute of limitation on ghostwriting now? Like, could you tell us the song?
I mean, it is with me. I love how you worded that.
Real
I love how
ghost,
you
right?
worded that.
Just statute of limitations.
Just curious, man. I didn't even realize you got that much heat over Pimpin' Ain't Easy. What was it like? Who came at you? Like, was it who were coming at you at that time?
Female community, gay community, a lot of people, you know. I mean, you know, I mean, it was the type of thing, you know, just a song, just having fun, you know, didn't mean to offend nobody, you know, but I mean, you know, yeah, people took offense and, you know, I mean, it was one of them type of things where, you know, we were just having fun. It's not like as if like this is a message that I believe in, and so it's like, to say, yo, my bad, I didn't mean it that way. I didn't have a problem with that, So I mean, I had to make public apologies and all this, but I had something on the burner, that was probably really got me in trouble. So I was like, yeah. So I just let someone else put it out, But normally when I'm working with other artists, I'm trying to write in their style. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Did you write for singers as well?
Only some of the stuff on that the Lucy's rap joint for Rick James. Other than that, I don't. Well, I've written for other singers, but it never came out.
Okay.
So if I'm correct, I don't think the stuff ever came out.
You Big Daddy Kane on the line. We're gonna talk about a new song he got with Chuck D. That you actually produced this song, right? Enough?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
And I when I read that, I knew you were very instrumental in your music, and a lot of times when you come out in the 90s, folks are kind of overlooked that, late 80s, early 90s, that how much input the rapper had. It was just almost like if you were the producer, you got the producer credit. Even though the rapper might be in there, yo, I'm going to shorten this verse. We should put a hook right here. Let's put a chorus, whatever. How much of your early music did you produce and wasn't credited for, if at all?
A whole lot of it.
Really?
A whole lot of it. Oh, yeah.
Like what? Can you name a few songs that come off the top?
Raw, Ain't No Half Stepping, Just Rhyming with Biz. To name a few.
Just to name a few. And then what was your contribution to, like, say, a Raw?
Well, what happened was Marley had made a track, one of those like drum machine beats, like Make the Music. And that's what I really wrote the rhymes to. And a friend of mine had this Black Caesar soundtrack, and I'm at their house listening to it, and that's where I heard the Mama Feel Good. And I was like, yeah, this would be dope on Marley's beat. So I brought that with me, and then following what I'm used to seeing Biz do, I decided, let me just stop at Downstairs Records before I go to the studio, because that's something Biz always did. So I went to Downstairs, and the cat that worked there named JC, he was like, yo, we just got these James Brown imports in. And he played them. And when I heard the Bobby Bird, I'm Coming, I was like, yeah, you can hand that one off right there. And I took that to Marley crib, and, we had a discussion. I'm like, yo, this would be better. Marley wanted to use his beat. Then when he heard the Bobby Bird, he was like, yeah, this is fire. So he sampled it. I went to go get some pizza. When I came back, he sampled the wrong part with just the straight drums. I was like, nah, 6 bars in, there's an offbeat snare. Just like boom, gat, boom, gat. I'm like, we need that one. So he had to resample it again and then dump it on tape all over again. But we got it in there, and then, he cursed me out about like, that's Public Enemy shit, man. That we ain't trying to beat them. They won't beat us. But I'm like, yo, it's riding, man. It's driving the track. We need this. Then after it was all done, like, Marley was like, yeah, this is crazy. I want to play this Friday,
Wow.
So that type of thing. It was like he more or less, engineered the session. But I mean, to take nothing away from Marley, I mean, like Young, Gifted, and Black, that's all Marley. Lean on Me, that's all Marley. I mean, we talking about an amazing producer that pretty much changed the way production was done in the late 80s, so I have nothing but the utmost respect for him. I'm just keeping it funky about, what you just asked me about.
Absolutely. Man, I don't know if me and King Tack heard this before, but it was like I don't know if I heard this or I dreamt it, that it was you and G Rap going for about 5 minutes or 6 minutes on the RAW, on the raw beat. Is that true?
Yeah, that's what brought about the symphony. After
okay.
I did it, me and G Rap, we just playing around, just rhymed on it. So when Raw came out, Marley started playing the version with me and G Rap rhyming on it, and people were calling in requesting it. Marley was like, yo, I need y'all to do this on my album. So Marley wanted me and G to do a song in his album. Then, like, when we was getting close to that time, he said, yo, Craig G found out y'all going to do something. He want to be on the song, too. And I had just heard Duck Alert, and I was like, Craig sounded a lot different from Transformers. Like, he done really stepped his game up. Yeah, I'd love to have Craig on there. So that's how Craig got involved. And then the day we did the pictures for the photo shoot, that's when we went to Marley crib to record it. And then Marley says, yo, this is my new artist, Master Ace. We want to put him on the song, too. And me and G didn't want him on the song,
Why not?
Like Ace had these big glasses on like Woody Allen, and we just wasn't feeling them. And we didn't want him on the song. And I'm like, I mean, can I curse?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I mean, I'm like, I'm not fucking with glasses. I'm out of here, So G was like, me too. And we talking, and, they talking. They trying to figure out who going to go first, who going to go last. That's how that thing came about. I don't know who first, who's last. They trying to figure it out. Me, G, trying to get up out of there. But then Ace spits his verse. And then I'm like, yo, glass is kind of hot. Like I fucks with dudes. Like, yeah, glass is hot. And then Craig went. And then, G, with the crazy lisp and whatnot, I'm like, I'm fucking like glasses first better than Craig. So that's when we like, we rock with dude. And it just came together. And I thought it was amazing. And, I'm glad that, Ace was a part of it, because he bodied it.
Damn, the symphony, one of the greatest of all time. Sway in the Morning.
Yeah, that come from the raw freestyle with me and G Rap. That was where it all originated.
Wow, man, Big Daddy Kane here.
Marley had a vision there.
Let's go with that vision, man. 888-742-3345. We're gonna come back and talk about new music with Big Daddy Kane. If you have any questions, give us a call. It's Sway in the Morning, Shade 4-5.
I don't care who's first or who last, but I know that y'all little something to the beach go.
In making this mixtape, I realized, in my opinion, that Kane was better than Rakim.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Said that.
This is like an ongoing battle, just through my friends, arguing amongst the re-up gang, arguing amongst me and my brother. Like, yeah. I think Kane better, whatever. But I thought Rakim was better for a long time. And I was traveling to New York, and during the midday, they were doing all Rakim and all Kane. So as I'm driving through Philly, back-to-back records. And the Wrath of Kane was the solidifying, point for me. I was like, wait a minute. All right, that's it. He got it.
Pusha T, man. Pusha T. Did a whole mixtape. Yeah, talking about Big Daddy Kane. Listening to the symphony right there. Put a quarter in your ass because you played yourself. My daughter be quoting that lyric, Kane. She 21, bro. Congratulations, man. You immortalized off of that. Now, I'm interested. I know it's a way after the fact, but you had BDP and you had the Juice Crew and you had that well-known, documented, lovely, rivalry between the two. And then Heather came in BDP later on. After that, did you and Kane ever cross paths? Not now, no battle shit, Heather, but did y'all did you see each other back then?
Kane, first of all, let me say this: he was always very nice and always humble. When you hear the funny thing about music and your favorite artists, when you hear their music come across the radio, you have this image in your head, and then you have the video to go with it. So you hear this ferocious lyricist. But then Kane, I would see Kane in different video shoots because remember Kane was on the heel set and different things that Chris had done later on, and Kane was always nice and gracious. We even had shows together. Kane was always kind and it was like, yo, you mastered the drunken woman style. He was always just saying these different things. But the thing that I was fascinated about Kane was I was saying while the music was playing Citizens that. Shout out to Lays, MOP's manager. Lays and I had a conversation a couple summers ago in Coney Island, and Lays was explaining to everybody how young Kane was writing this style. I don't think we think about that. How young he was, not just writing for himself, but again, writing for other people. And we constantly hear the comparisons. You heard Pusha T talk about Rakim. Of course, Chris was my music mentor, and then it was Kane. So the three of them, I think, during that era, it was like the clash of the titans. Always, anytime they all dropped music, the world just stopped. I felt like it was just crazy. So they were our rap gods in a sense, taking nothing away from LL, of course, nothing away from that. But there was just a particular style about the three of them that just had it was like they had everything covered, all corners of the game covered. It was crazy.
Good time. Kane, where you think you were at your peak? Like when you was like, wow, man, shit. Is it now? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. Probably like, well, when you say at my peak, what do you mean? Like
exposure, where appeal, where you realize that little grannies and bodegas knew who you were. You know what I mean?
Probably like 1990, I would say. Yeah, like 89, 90, around then. Yeah.
Okay.
I realized it.
Yeah.
Damn,
Big Daddy Kane is on the line, and see, I would have said even later than that.
Yeah, I would have thought you said later too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and even now it's interesting because now you got. We're gonna talk about this new song with Chuck D called "Enough." And I listened to this song over and over, man, and it's just so fun for me to listen to you, Kane, like to just really go through your lyrics and dissect how you approach rhyming over tracks now, and is it different from when you Long Live the Kane and all those early albums came out? Like, how is your approach now? When you rap today, is the motivation the same, or is it different for you? Do you still get as excited?
Well, I mean, with this particular song, I was like heavily motivated, with this particular song. But I like to do something. I like to do is just really just pay attention to a lot of the younger cats, and just see how they vibe and where they at, and listen in a way where I'm like, that's cool, but I probably would have did this instead, just because I mean I just I like to I guess refresh, So that's something that I like to do. It's something that I had to learn how to do. Like I want to say like late '90s. I realized that something I was blaming on so many other people. The real problem was actually me and not them.
What were you blaming? Like, what would you point fingers at when you said a real problem?
Well, like for example, when I did albums like Taste the Chocolate, Prince of Darkness, I just wanted to get off of Warner Brothers. I was upset with the way things was going. I just wanted to get them their last 3 albums, so I could get the hell up out of there. But by the time we was doing my 5th album, Looks Like a Job for, it's like the vibe is like, yo, Kane fell off, Kane, blah, blah, blah. So I really wanted to keep it gutter and get them something real street. And I had producers, track masters, shout out to Rich Nice. I had Easy Mo B, Large Professor. And the album came out and, I thought the album sounded great. But it wasn't really selling. And then, I'm sitting there like, what? Trackmasters, Mo B, Large Professor, they gave me some BS. They gave me beats from their B list. They gave me a bunch of garbage, man. That's what's wrong. And then I'm sitting there listening to, I want to say, either a Method Man or a Nas song. I can't remember. And then I'm like, you know what? Trackmasters, Large Professor, Mo B, they ain't do nothing wrong. I'm the problem. I sound like it's 1988 still. I haven't really updated my style. I sound old. I'm the problem. I'm the weakest link on this album, And from that point, I go around the way, hang with my boys over in Briefway Projects or my boys in Crown Heights. We just stand on the corner, drinking brews and spitting in a cipher all night. And I'm just listening to what cats are saying and the way cats is flowing. And, I just really had to really just refresh, man,
I ain't mad at that. Yeah, Kane, plus two, even to add to that, man, on the West Coast, I don't know how these urban myths started, but you had a reputation for having a nice knuckle game. How true was that?
Sway, you stupid.
Now, Kane said he was on the corner. How true was that, Kane? Kane?
I mean, I've survived out here. I'm still here. I've survived.
Hey man, but it's just great to hear your perspective on things. Sean is on the line from Canada. Good morning, Sean. How you doing?
What's up, Sean?
What up, Sway? What up, Heather B? Salute to both
What's
of you,
up?
first of all.
Thank you.
Kane, I just want to let you know, back in the 80s and stuff, late 80s, you, Rakim, and Karis One were God MCs to us in Toronto, Canada. You know what I mean? Like, you were a huge part of the scene. Sway sort of touched on one of the questions I was going to ask you, just in relation to your movement from It's a Big Daddy Thing to Taste of Chocolate, and the way that you sort of seem to be catering more towards the females on Taste of Chocolate. Are there any regrets in regards to that decision? Because you went from a hardcore, like straight from the streets gutter, and then it started getting a little smooth on Taste of Chocolate. Do you have any regrets in regards to that decision you made?
Nah, I mean, there's no reason to have any regrets, because women buy records too, So I mean, if they're purchasing the product, then I don't really see a reason for me to have any regrets, not at all. I mean, I tried to make music for everyone, not just for men, but for everyone. Men, women, children, white, black, Asian, it didn't matter. I tried to make music for everyone pretty much, But just to try to correct you real quick though, my brother, on Taste of Chocolate, I have a song called 'Cause I Can Do It Right. I have a song called Keep 'Em on the Floor, and I have a joint with Barry White called All of Me. Those are 3 of the 12 tracks. The other 9 are straight gutter stuff, so I don't really see how the album was catered more to women when there's only 3 songs that's really catered to women, and the other 9 is underground joints.
Fair enough. All right.
Okay. Go back and listen to it, Sean, and then also we're gonna play the new song momentarily. But man, Kane, I love a real fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody that really know what they talking about. Sean, salute you, a citizen, bro.
Sway in the morning.
Yeah. Hey, Kane, one last thing to say to you. I just want to make it very clear. That's not a snipe at you, my question, because you're always going to be one of my top MCs of all time. So I just want to make that clear. I don't want you going off thinking that, I'm not a fan. I'm a diehard fan.
Oh no, I'm fine, brother. I mean, I promise you, I'm not tripping. It's all love. It's all love, homie.
All right. All right, Sean, you're a citizen. We got Trey on the line. Trey, what up? Good morning, Trey.
Hey, Trey. What's poppin', Trey?
Yo, Sway, Heather, happy anniversary. It's your boy Trey, Virginia Beach. Big Daddy Kane, Brooklyn, stand up, baby, all day. What's good?
All right.
Yo, check it.
You got it.
I got a question. You, Cube, and Chuck, right? You, Cube, and Chuck did that Burn Hollywood Burn, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was the vibe like? Because that shit stays in my rotation right now on my workout playlist. What was the vibe like, Kane?
I mean, well, Chuck pretty much knew what he wanted, and he explained it to us. And, we just tried to really deliver and get the message that he wanted everyone to hear across, but, Chuck was the captain of the ship, and, he pretty much told us, yo, I want to address this. I want to talk about that. And it was like, I got it. And, we just did what we did. And it was all love, it was all love. Everybody had respect for one another. And I just thought it was an amazing chemistry, because, Ice Cube, I think that what he represented, really was more focal point than what he actually could do with his pen. because I always thought the Cube was a great lyricist. And, you know, I mean, I think everybody got theirs off, man, and the message came across crystal clear and was delivered properly.
No question. Everybody lit that thing up. And just for FYI, Raw is the illest shit you ever did. My son, 18 years old, knows it verse for verse.
Yeah, you got
I'll tell you a quick story, homie. I had a song out called Just Rhyming with Biz. That was the first release. And it was buzzing, but unfortunately everybody thought it was Biz Records, so I'm sitting at home broke. Nobody booking me for shows because everybody thinking it's a Biz song. They didn't know that it was my song. So it's playing on the radio, but I'm home broke. So I'm begging Fly Ty for months, you know, yo, I need to release something with just me. He finally got tired of me nagging him. He's like, yo, just see what you can do. And that's what I did. You know, like, that's why I didn't even start off with, like, you know, like, Here I Am, R-A-W, you know, because, I mean, it was like my introduction, you know. So it really meant a lot to me. And I appreciate your support, brother.
Yo, Trey.
No question, man. Wait, love
Trey.
y'all.
Love you too, man.
Sway in the morning.
Oh,
yes.
Gosh, these stories, man. Gosh, okay. We talking 1990 when Fear of a Black Planet came out and that Burn Hollywood Burn was on that. And then Cube had America's Most Wanted, and that was Cube going solo. And it was interesting because a lot of West Coast MCs like King T or Ice Cube or different dudes that were very dope, West Coast MCs were still fighting for their place in all of this in terms of MCs, you know, being dope MCs. It's one thing to sell a lot of records, but to be considered a dope MC back then, it didn't matter how many records you sold. Like now, it's like, man, I'm streaming millions. I'm fuck what you think. You know, back then you could sell 1 million records, but if you weren't dope, you weren't dope. You know, what was, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm curious to, like, on the New York side, what did folks think of Cube? People, they recognize, like, for you to recognize his skill set, that's probably all he needed. But what was the general consensus you heard back then about Cube?
You know, back then, I liked a lot of West Coast artists. I was rocking Ice-T. Let's Get Butt Naked joint, like I was playing that heavy, and I thought the King T was a beast. Like me and King T had rhymed in a little cipher. They used to do the BRE convention and stuff, and I was like, yo, this dude got bars, you know. And when Eazy-E came out, I thought his voice was amazing. I was like, this dude is like the West Coast MC Shan. His voice is crazy, you know. I was loving Eazy. But honestly, King T was like the only person that I really respected as a lyricist until I heard Cube. And I was like, yo, that dude with NWA, he got some fire. Yeah. I think Bitch is a Bitch was the first time I really like heard him just spit and spit, you know. And then I really started paying attention to dudes, you know. And I'm like, yeah, this dude, he's a beast.
He can go, right? You mentioned we mentioned Ice-T. I had Ice-T on the show, and he made a point. This was years ago. I know you've since probably talked about it in different interviews, but this is what Ice-T said about somebody that he met through you.
I met Jay with Big Daddy Kane. Big Daddy Kane brought him over my crib back in the day. He had a backpack on. Jay-Z. Jay would come out to L.A. and, you know, him and Dame, you know, we were friends. And then one day he was with me. He said, man, I got to go to the Valley. I got to go do something. And we drove him out there and was swaying tech spot. Jay jumped out the car and did some freestyle, amazing stuff that he does. That's the first time I ever seen him just come off the head like that. I'm like, what the hell, is he writing this stuff?
Kane, couple big points in that story that Ice-T told. That was only about a 25-second clip of history. The first thing is he met Jay-Z because of Big Daddy Kane. The second thing is he mentioned Sway and Tech in that legendary story.
You
so
heard
now
that
I'm
part,
immortal.
Sway?
You hear that, Kane? I'm in the story with you, Kane. Kane, I'm in the story with you, baby. Come on.
Fainted.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sway fainted.
Yo, man, I remember one time we were out partying, me, Rich Nice, and Kane, and You know, J. Cole made that song, I Let Nas Down. Remember he made that song? And I remember we were partying and I was sitting and we were on the stage, Kane. I don't know if you remember this. And I think it was Rich Nice. Rich was always my bad influence. And I think Rich handed me a drink. And that
would definitely be Rich.
That would, Rich handed me a drink. And I was like, all right, man, I'm with Kane. You know, man, we on the fucking couch. This is crazy on the stage. And I took a sip of the drink, and I'm like, yeah, we partying. And Kane kind of tapped me. And Kane said, Sway, hey, man, you drink? And I was like, I looked at Rich like, damn. And I was not really, I let Kane down, man. Kane, I'm sorry. I ain't took a drink since, man. Bro.
Boy, you crazy.
I always get the bad rap when it comes to drinking, man. I don't know how this always happened to Rich Nice.
Man, I was like, I thought I was supposed to drink.
Listen, Sway, if you're going to drink, do it with Heather. Just don't do it with Rich, man.
Don't do it with Rich.
Man. Things go bad, real bad.
Rich, man. I learned from that shit, Kane. Hey, here's the thing I like about this song enough. And I thought it was great that Trey brought up Burn Hollywood Burn. And you told the story how that was based on Chuck D's direction to bring you and Ice Cube and everybody on that track. You with Chuck D again and Lauren Oden. Whose direction was it for this? And even the proceeds going to Until Freedom with Tamika Mallory and my son, the General, and all those guys from that amazing movement they're having. How did this song come together differently than that song? And what was the vision?
Well, it's like with everything that's going on in the world, it's like it's sickening. And, I was pretty much, at this point where it's like, man, it's hard to even watch the news. I'm so sick of just seeing this stuff, man, And then it's like back-to-back Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and George Floyd, it's just like, it's just too much, man. And then I'm watching Tamika Mallory's speech. And, like, her speech just sent chills through my body. It gave me, like, one of them, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King speech moments, I thought it was so strong and powerful. And I just felt like, you know what, I actually do want to say something, So I started writing some stuff, and then I had an idea, and I hit Chuck, and I was like, hey, man, I got an idea where me and you could do some James Brown, Bobby Bird type shit. And then he told me about the State of the Union song, and he emailed it to me, and I was like, okay, perfect. We on the same page. So this is what I'm thinking. And he was like, all right, send me the track. Let's do it. Yeah. And, we just made it happen.
And you produced the whole thing, right? Now, and Lauren Oden, how did that happen?
I was like kind of like doing some like, David Ruffin, Bobby Womack type writing for the hook. And I reached out to another artist who I thought would be perfect, but he told me that he was quarantined and he wasn't recording. And then I started thinking, I'm like, damn, who else would be good? And I started thinking about Black Dynamite. And I'm like, Lauren can hit it. Lauren can hit it hard. I love to hear Lauren sing pretty, but I'm like, he can hit it hard too. And when I reached out to him and told him, and he was like, man, with this shit going on right now, I don't feel pretty at all, man. Like, trust me. He's like, anything I sing is gonna be sung with pain right now. I'm like, my man, that's what I wanted to hear. I sent it to him, and him and Adrian Young, made it happen, and they sent it back. I was like, they was like, do you want to? I'm like, no, I don't want nothing. Everything is fine. You ain't got to change nothing. Everything is perfect. Yeah.
And the rest is history. Listen, I want y'all to know, first of all, that the proceeds are going to Until Freedom Movement, and we've had my son, the General, and Tamika Mallory on the show. We've, as a show, have even invested. We don't say donations anymore. We say invested into that movement. And so all proceeds from this song, Enough, featuring Chuck D and Lauren Oden, Big Daddy Kane song produced by Big Daddy Kane. The proceeds are going Until Freedom Movement. So you should know that. So that's available on all platforms right now, right, Kane?
Yes, sir. And let me just add this. Even if you're not a Kane fan and don't want to rock with my music, you can go to untilfreedom.com where their website is and donate money to support their movement, because I think that what they're doing is beautiful for our people to fight for justice and equality. And I mean, I think that those are some amazing people, and y'all should support them. So, like I said, even if you don't want to, buy the song for the proceeds to go to them, man, go to their website and donate there. It's real like that.
Okay, thank you, Kane. Hey, man, love you, Kane. If I never told you, I'm telling you now, I love you, brother. Thank you for all that you continue to do, and congratulations on being involved with Rock the Bells. We had LL on the show, and he talked about how you guys are now partners in the rockthebells.com movement and making sure that our history is solid, documented correctly, and told properly. So we appreciate you for that too, Kane. All right.
L is a beautiful dude. He's doing beautiful things. And I just want to say real quick, man, that you, Heather, Rich, man, y'all always been like family to me. And thanks for always showing me support, man. Much love to all of y'all.
Oh, absolutely. Citizens, hit up Kane on his social, Big Daddy Kane, and official Big
Love
Daddy
family.
Kane. Okay, Big Daddy Kane. This